This is Darth Brimstone with Darth Brimstone Dissects for a Rebel Moon review. Spoiler free. So, here we start with Rebel Moon, a Child of Fire, Part 1. Um, so, this is basically a colony on the edge of space. It finds itself threatened by the armies of a region. Um, and a young woman who has been there a few years basically decides that she is going to put together a band of warriors from neighboring planets to help them fight the Empire or the tyrannical army. So, Sophia Boutella plays Cora. She is the star of this, and she is absolutely phenomenal. You can tell she has a dancing background with the way she fights, and it's beautiful to watch. So from here, we she goes on the road. She puts together a team. Kai, played by Charlie Hunnam, loved the character. Jimmy, we don't get to see a whole lot of him. He is played by Sir Anthony Hopkins, and absolutely amazing. Um, Ed Skrein plays Admiral Atticus. Honestly, he plays such a great creepy villain. It's wonderful to watch. Jenna Malone, unbelievably talented. She plays Harmada. Um, Mikhail Husman plays Gunner. Wonderful. Bayduna plays Nemesis. Really well done. Jimon Hunsu plays General Titus. Amazing. Ray Fisher plays Darian Bloodaxe. I love that character, but we do not see enough of him. So, as I was saying, this movie is wonderful. Um, I am not a die-hard Zack Snyder fan. I like some of his stuff, some of his stuff I don't. Now, this was originally pitched as a Star Wars movie, so you will see elements of that in this. And it's really well done. Now, because this is a PG cut, he had to cut a lot out of this movie. In my rewatches, I noticed many scenes that were almost seemed incomplete because the core of them seems to have been almost cut out. The action sequences in typical Zack Snyder fashion are amazing. Now, the cinematography in this, absolute Zack Snyder all the way. That's what he does, and it looks wonderful. Now, some of the blurry shooting, which was done with the aperture of the lens, was a little distracting at times. Um, and that and the slow mo and the super slow mo, once again, Zack Snyder's staple. Sometimes drew away from the action a little bit, but most of the time it enhanced it greatly. And like I said, this movie has both good and bad in it. Zack Snyder, both at his best in in many scenes, but there were a couple of scenes where the negatives in Zack Snyder reared their head. So I originally, during my first watch through of this, I gave it a rating of about an 8.5, 9. And I loved it. And I still do. Now, I'm a little more critical of it after watching it a couple of times. However, I also ended up finding more things I liked about it. And the more I watched it, the more questions of mine were answered with subtlety, which is kind of cool. So, I'm not going to go too in depth because I want to keep the spoiler free. I will do a spoiler video later, maybe after another watch through because I rather enjoyed this. Um, that is Nemesis. She's awesome. Um, now that, of course, is Sofia Boutella, who plays Cora. I'm just gonna try and pop up a few images here, but this is a thumbs up from me. Honestly, I rated about a 6.5, 7 right now, and that's only the PG version. I'm waiting for the Snyder cut before I give this a really full, in-depth review because this movie deserves it really. Um, so the reason why they forced Zack Snyder to do a PG cut of this, and they will never say it. I'm telling you, they will never say it because it's true. They won't. It is for this.
Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the
Merchandising.
movie is made. Spaceballs the T-shirt.
And
Spaceballs the coloring book. Spaceballs the
they are going to be
lunchbox.
doing a lot of these. They're
Spaceballs the
already talking
breakfast
about toys
cereal.
and games. So
Spaceballs the flamethrower. The kids love this one.
I'm looking forward to see
Last
what
but
they come
not
up with.
least, Spaceballs the doll. Me.
Now,
May the Schwartz be with you.
I am giving this movie, I'd say 7 for a final initial rating. I'll give it a 7 because it was really good and there were a number of scenes that were probably going to be finished off a lot better, which is why it only got a 7. If those scenes would have been complete and it probably would have been the R-rated Schneider cut, this would be an 8.5, 9 for me. Um, so, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and yours. Hit the like button, subscribe, and take care. We out.